eGenesis, a Cambridge-based biotech company, is making strides in xenotransplantation, transplanting organs from animals into humans. They have successfully transplanted gene-edited pig hearts into infant baboons, a significant step towards similar transplants in human babies.
Hello, today I want to look into transplants, but in this case, there's a dead man, basically brain dead, and surgeons have transplanted a genetically engineered pig kidney into this man's body. The pig kidney continued to function in his brain dead body. He was kept to a ventilator for support, and the kidney functioned for 32 days. And they say this is the longest period that a gene-edited pig kidney has functioned in a human. It's basically an opportunity, they say, to improve alternative organs for transplant. So basically, the surgeons at NYU Langone Health, basically they transplanted a genetically engineered pig kidney into a brain dead human's body, and the kidney has functioned 32 days after the man is declared dead based on neurological criteria. And they maintain his beating heart on a ventilator. The procedure was performed on July 14th, 2023 by a surgeon named Dr. Robert Montgomery and Phil and H. Leon Pachter. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly. He's the professor of surgery and chair of surgery and the director of NYU. I guess they're Langone Transplant Institute. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. So basically, the pig kidney had only one genetic modification. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm more leaning towards, I'd rather them use your genes to grow or clone your kidney than to use a pig kidney. That's more, because at least it's come from your genetic material and not a pig. I don't know if I'd be I guess if you have to, you have to. But I'm like walking around with a pig kidney. And then there's a lot of stuff involved, right? Every time they do this, can you really function like you normally did before? Because they have to take so many drugs. And this is another thing this article gets into about the drugs for to prevent immunosuppression. Immunosuppression drugs to prevent rejection of the kidney. That's the type of thing I'm not exactly comfortable with. So I'm going to go into more detail and where it gets to that. So what they did, they basically removed a gene. They say it's like an impediment to these, what they call them, xenotransplants. And the impediment is basically hyperacute rejection. And this occurs just minutes after the animal organ is placed into a human circulatory system. So what they do is they basically knock out the gene that encodes the biomolecule known as alpha-gal. This is a thing that's responsible for the rejection of the pig organs by humans. So they basically knock that out to avoid immediate rejection. And that helps the kidney to last in the human's body. The pig kidney, that is. Also, there's a pig's thymus gland, which is responsible for educating the immune system, and that thymus gland was embedded underneath the outer layer of the kidney. This is to stave off delayed immune responses. So they basically embedded this thymus gland under the first outer layer of the kidney, so I guess it wouldn't educate the immune system that this organ shouldn't be here. So with a combination of these two modifications, they're able to prevent rejection of the kidney in the man's body. That is a lot of work. I guess if you have to do that, you have to do that, I guess, for alternative organs. But I'm also, again, of the school that if they can grow your organs or clone your organs, then to me that would be much better, because it's your own genetic material, as I said before, as opposed to coming from a pig or I'm going all over the place, a pig, a goat, whatever. Usually we always get these pig organs. So So they say once the pig kidney is transplanted, it starts producing urine. They started producing urine, and with no rejection. That's interesting. So like, there's this dead man's body, so they go check for pee. Yeah. Anyway, so they say during the observation stage, the intensive care clinical staff maintained that the body on support while the pig's kidney performance was monitored and sampled with weekly biopsies. So they sampled it weekly, and they said levels of creatine was found in the blood, which is like creatine is waste product. It's found in the blood, and that's the indicator of kidney function. Okay, and they say the creatine was in optimal range during the length of the study, and there was no evidence of rejection. I mean, again, it's not bad. This is a good idea. It's a good thing. I guess maybe I don't know where they're at. I haven't looked that up. I may do another video on growing your organs. But this surgery seems to be really important as far as alternative organs. Considering the amount of people on the waiting list, I can see why this is an alternative. But again, I'm interested in what other things you have to deal with. How does your life change drastically? What can you and cannot do? I mean, there's so much that you could probably look into with this. So they said that the surgery was performed after a consultation with the New York State Department of Health, and they said it's important research that study leaders say could save many lives in the future. That's what they say. And actually, the person who donated the body for this is a 57-year-old man. He wanted to dedicate his body to research after he died, and I guess they say there's a non-profit organization called Live On New York that facilitates organ and tissue donation. That's a whole other topic. Oh boy. Anyway, this is they say they're a critical partner in an effort to inform, support, and collaborate throughout the authorization process. So they say it's a big leap toward progress in a new organ source, considering you have 103,000 people on the waiting list for a transplant and 88,000 of those waiting for a kidney. So what's 103,000 minus 88,000? That's roughly I want to say 15,000. Difference of 15,000 people. So 88,000 waiting for the kidney, the other 15,000 waiting on something else. Wow, imagine that. So they said in 2022 about 26,000 people received a kidney transplant. Meanwhile, 808,000 people in the US had end-stage renal disease. This is crazy. That's almost just under 200,000 shy of a million are in the late stage of this renal disease. That's partly is our diet. That's also another video. But they say there's simply not enough organs available. How about we produce better food so they don't have to have a transplant? How about that? This is kind of, I don't know. I could go in so many directions with this. So basically they said that the less modifications to the kidney, it may be a good idea. Like, anyway, they say less is more. So the less engineering you do to the kidney, it's the better, I guess. So they basically remove that one gene that causes the immunoresponse or rejection. Again, I don't know. They say in previous pig organ transplants, they had about 10 genetic modifications. And mind you, this pig came from a genetically modified, I guess, a company that does gene modifications. The pig was basically patented, looks like, or created by a company. It's one of those gene modification companies, or I don't want to say GMO companies, but a company that basically specializes in that kind of genetic modification. So they basically said that they're going to monitor the pig kidney for another month with permission from the family and ethics committee. I always wonder what kind of cases come before this ethics committee. So they want to check the additional data for the next several weeks and analyze it further to develop a deeper understanding of this medical advancement, they call it. And they say the pig was deemed safe by the FDA. Okay, yeah, by again, this is a pig that was genetically modified by a company. It's a company called Galsafe, something like that. This is pretty interesting though. Like, if you walk around with a pig's kidney, if you live, you live. That's good. I just, of course, have my own reservations because I know there's probably a lot of medication you have to take. And how long do you have to take medication? This didn't specify. It's probably something to look up. Anyway, I rambled enough. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening this long. And please like and subscribe. And thanks again for your time.